Okay, so welcome everyone to game week 4 of FLQL season 7. I hope the season's been treating you well. The reading order is Jason, Shankha, Aishwarya, and then Mick. Everybody is here. Is everyone ready to get started?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Everyone, please remember to keep your hands on screen at all times and your videos on. Not that I think anyone here needs reminding at this point. And we can get started. Good luck, everyone.
All right, good luck, everyone.
Jason, these are your questions to get started.
Yep.
This is the international set, in which 2024 film named after the 10th in a series do we witness soldiers bearing a striking resemblance to Star Wars stormtroopers. The film's creator also revealed that Harshit Reddy's character Luke draws from the iconic Star Wars figure Luke Skywalker.
Oh. Well, 10th in a series. Nah, I'll have to pass.
Passing to Shankha.
Pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Pass.
Passing to Mick.
Pass.
Any non-coms?
Huh?
Aishwarya, you had wanted to write a paper on the subject.
That's not narrowing it down.
Obi-Wan.
This is Kalki 2898 AD. I would also have accepted Kalkin, who is the prophesized 10th and final incarnation of the Hindu god Vishnu. Kalki 2898 AD is reportedly the most expensive film ever made in India with a budget of 600 crore, though not very well received by audiences or critics, given how much difficulty Aishwarya here had getting her friends to watch it with her.
It's 3 hours long. We gave up.
Jason, your next question. Nowadays, the manager of Real Madrid, with which he completed the cycle, Italian Carlo Ancelotti, is the only person to have won the title as coach in all 5 of the best European Association football leagues, also winning 2 UEFA Champions Leagues with them. With which Italian club did Carlo win the Serie A in 2003-2004 season?
Juventus.
I'm afraid not. Passing to Shankha.
Pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Pass.
Passing to Mick.
No, pass.
This is AC Milan.
Oh, whatever the ones.
Shankha, your questions. A loose reworking of Fellini's Juliet of the Spirits, besides containing shades of an enduringly popular 1865 children's literature work, and named after the 1865 work's child protagonist, which 1990 movie by Woody Allen starring Mia Farrow as the titular character captures the life of a Manhattan homemaker who reassesses her life after an encounter with a jazz musician? We need the one-word title of the film.
Alice.
Is the right answer. And we'll get you the point. Shankha, The Mushroom at the End of the World, on the Possibility of Life in Capitalist Ruins, is a 2015 book by the anthropologist Anna Singh. It describes and analyzes the globalized commodity chains of which highly coveted mushroom, originating in Eurasia and North America, which is prized in Japanese cuisine for its distinct spicy aromatic odor. The common name in Japanese translates to pine tree mushroom.
I don't know, shiitake.
I'm afraid not. Passing to Aishwarya.
No, I'll pass.
Passing to Mick.
Pass.
Passing to Jason.
Nah, pass.
This is the matsutake. I would also have prompted on tricoloma because it's known as the tricoloma matsutake. Aishwarya, these are your directs. With around 1/3 counterfeit currency circulating at the time, regulators aimed to stop the problem by making a set of recommendations in the mid-1860s. One of them was the establishment of which in the news organization that until 2003 was under the US Department of Treasury due to its original mandate. Ten seconds.
I'm completely blank. Pass.
Passing to Mick.
Secret Service.
Yeah.
It is the Secret Service. This is the American Secret Service or the US Secret Service. Aishwarya, what is the name of the 10th month of the Islamic calendar whose first day is celebrated as Eid al-Fitr? It takes its name from the Arabic verb for to lift or carry, because a female camel would normally be carrying a fetus at this time of year in pre-Islamic Arabia.
I'm pretty sure it's not, but I'll just say Ramadan.
I'm afraid it isn't. Jason?
I'll pass.
Passing to Shankha
Shawwal.
is the right answer. The period of Hajj also begins in Shawwal, and so it is also otherwise called Ashhur al-Hajj, or the month of Hajj. But Shawwal will get to the point. Mick, these are your questions. The Malian kora player Toumani Diabate, who passed away in July this year, received international acclaim in 1988 with the formation of a musical ensemble named after which empire from his part of the world. This empire, located in the western part of the Sahel during the 15th and 16th centuries, was one of the largest African empires in history.
Songhai.
It's the correct answer. This is Songhai. Diabate's fellow musicians in the ensemble were the Spanish flamenco group Ketama and the English bassist Danny Thompson. And his music was quite spectacular, so his passing is a great loss. Mick, continental crustal fragments, aka microcontinents, are pieces of continents that have broken off from main continental masses to form distinct islands or land masses. Also known as Te Reo a Maui or Tasmantis, which recently mapped microcontinents subsided after breaking away from Gondwana 83 to 79 million years ago. It is an almost entirely submerged mass of continental crust in Oceania. New Zealand is the largest part of this microcontinent above sea level, followed by New Caledonia.
Zealandia.
Is the right answer again. This is Zealandia.
Yeah.
And so we come to round two. Jason, these are your questions. Hericium erinaceus is a type of tooth fungus which is known for its drooping habit. It has become a popular additive to coffee and is used for achieving focus. How do we commonly refer to this kind of mushroom? A name that should remind you of a Sherlock Holmes adventure notable for being narrated by Holmes himself.
No, I'll pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
No, I'll pass.
Passing to Shankha.
Pass.
Passing to Mick.
Pass.
Any non-coms?
I have known this at some point.
Musgrave. Which one?
No, this is the lion's mane mushroom.
Oh.
Didn't know that.
I think now you all know which Sherlock Holmes story it is also. It also goes by the bearded hedgehog or old man's beard. So you can see why they don't write either of those on menus and go with lion's mane. Jason, the book Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan uses a part of which painting by Peter Bruegel the Elder on its cover. This painting lies in the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna today.
Winter.
Afraid not. Passing to Aishwarya
Hunters in the Snow?
is the right answer.
Oh.
This is called Hunters in the Snow. Shankha, these are your questions. In 1958, 14 years before he defeated Boris Spassky to become the only American world chess champion, apart from Wilhelm Steinitz, who took American citizenship after becoming world champion, who broke Spassky's record to become the youngest ever chess grandmaster at the age of 15 years and 6 months?
Fisher.
Absolutely. Would you like to hazard a first name?
Bobby Fischer.
Yes. This is Bobby Fischer. Shankha, this cake gets its name from the style of beer used in its preparation. This fruit cake is traditionally associated with St. Patrick's Day. What cake?
Black and tan.
I'm afraid not. Passing to Jason.
Guinness?
Not that either. Aishwarya?
Stout?
Not stout. Mick?
I'm going to pass it. All that's left is porter that I can think of, but non-continental.
Are you? If
Was it
only,
porter?
if only you had not passed, Mick. It is a porter
Oh,
cake.
porter.
Oh, it's between Guinness, stout, and porter, but
Yeah.
I think Guinness was my number one choice. So
It is a slightly
that was
unkind question in which everyone, unless you knew the cake, would definitely lean Guinness.
Hmm.
Aishwarya, these are your questions. Two crossed anchors linked by a chain fittingly appear in the logo of which specialized agency of the UN? In our opinion, we will accept the full form or abbreviated form of the agency's name.
The IMO.
It's the right answer. Do you know what the full form is?
For mariners organization?
Like
No.
Not
maritime.
quite.
Maritime.
It is the International Maritime
Maritime.
Organization.
Right.
Aishwarya, following his 8-year stint in Milan in 2009, Ancelotti became head coach of which English club? Also winning the FA Cup in the same season, in 2009, he won the Premier League with the club in question.
Chelsea?
Is the right answer. Carlo Ancelotti's career, which is marked not only by the winning of many championships, but also by many unceremonious firings. Mick, these are your directs. This Sicilian dessert usually ranges from 9 to 20 centimeters and is a diminutive in the local language, meaning little tube. It's traditionally infused with marsala wine and cinnamon. After looking at this dessert, you may choose it and leave your gun behind. What dessert?
Cannoli?
Absolutely. And do you know the reference?
Godfather.
Oh, Godfather, right?
Yes.
Godfather.
Leave
Yeah.
the gun, take the cannoli from The Godfather.
Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah.
I would also definitely pick the cannoli. Mick, the book The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell uses a painting of a historical figure by Bronzino. The lady who died at the age of 16 shares her first name with another historical figure, but from a different influential family. Incidentally, they both died in the same city of Ferrara, but 42 years apart. Who is this lady in the painting?
Catherine Borgia?
I'm afraid not. Passing to Jason.
Lucretia?
I can
Borgia.
prompt you for a last name.
Borgia?
Not her.
Hmm.
Shankha.
Pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Pass.
Now,
Lucretia.
Lucrezia is correct, but she was the lady who died 42 years previously. This lady is Lucrezia de Cosimo, or
Oh,
Medici.
the Medici.
So I would not have accepted
Medici
Duchess
would
of
have done it.
Ferrara since the Ferrara
Yeah,
escape.
just Medici was okay.
Yes. And so round 3, Jason, these are your directs. You can hear something on someone else's audio.
Sorry.
All right.
My radio going off.
No problem. Instagram filters have some interesting stories behind their names, Jason. Per a study on Canva, the most popular filter for hashtag fashion photos on Instagram is one that creates a radiant meets retro effect. Known for its warmth, this filter is named for a scientist who famously is associated with temperature and was the first scientist to be elevated into the UK's House of Lords. Which filter or who names it?
Kelvin.
Absolutely. Are you a big fan of the Instagram?
Oh. Yes and no.
This is Kelvin after Lord Kelvin or William Thomson. Yes, and Bobby Fischer's record stood for over 30 years, until which Hungarian player became a grandmaster in December 1991 at the age of 15 years and 4 months. Their sister Susan, who is 7 years older, had become a grandmaster 11 months earlier.
Pass.
Passing to Shankha
Polgar.
is the right answer. A first name, anyone?
Judith,
Judith.
It
or is it the other one?
Judith Polgar.
Oh, Polgar.
So Jason gets his first point, and we get on to Shankha's direct questions. In 1935, Irwin Bunning recognized the existence of something inherited in every species. Just 2 years later, the team of Loomis, Harvey, and Hobart discovered 5 stages of what, and named the brainwaves characteristic of each as alpha, low voltage, spindles, spindles plus random, and random. Ten seconds.
5 stages of embryo development.
I'm afraid not. Passing to Mick.
Pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Pass.
Passing to Jason.
Pass.
This is quite simply sleep.
Oh, yeah. Brainwaves.
Okay.
Shankha named one of the 100 greatest masterpieces of American literature by the American Revolution Bicentennial Administration. The 1906 work, The Devil's Dictionary, is a book that features satirical definitions of commonplace words. Who is its author? He mysteriously disappeared in 1913 after closing his final letter by saying, "As to me, I leave here tomorrow for an unknown destination."
Ambrose Bierce.
Is the right answer. This is Ambrose Bierce. Aishwarya, your directs. Agaricus bisporus is a mushroom native to grasslands in Eurasia and North America and has 2 color variants. When the brown variant is sold in its intermediate stage, it is known as a cremini mushroom. What is this meaty and umami-forward mushroom called when marketed in its mature stage? It gets its name from a town in Italy, which also gives its name to a military event from 1601 as part of the Anglo-Spanish War.
This is Portobello.
It is
Nice.
Nice.
very up to date with your Anglo-Spanish War references.
Apparently not my mushrooms.
Aishwarya, though the English novelist Edward Bulwer Lytton coined many phrases widely used today, such as "the pen is mightier than the sword" and "the great unwashed," he is most associated with which oft-repeated opening lines, considered an archetype for bad writing from the opening sentence of his 1830 novel, Paul Clifford?
It was a dark and stormy night.
Was indeed a dark and stormy night. Mick, your directs. Which Arabic word for spring forms the part of 2 different months of the Islamic calendar? In India, the word is familiar to us in an agricultural context.
Okay. Done.
I'm afraid not.
They look
Passing
really
to
bad
Jason.
right here.
Pass.
Passing to Shankha
Rabi.
is the right answer. This is Rabi. In India, the winter crop is called the Rabi harvest. And in the Islamic calendar, the months are Rabi al-Awwal and Rabi al-Thani. Mick, the most popular Instagram filter in the world was named after a ritzy San Francisco neighborhood with gorgeous views. Which filter is this? A general all-purpose filter that brightens, highlights, and intensifies shadows for color that pops, and is popular probably because it is the first filter that appears after normal.
Pass.
Pass to Jason.
I'll pass as well.
Aishwarya.
I'll pass as well.
Passing to Shankha.
Pass.
Any non-coms from our resident Instagram experts? No.
Can't think of a San Francisco neighborhood.
Yeah,
This is
same.
this is called Clarendon.
Clarendon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we come to round 4. Shankha on 6, Aishwarya on 5, Mick on 4, Jason on 1. Jason, these are your directs. Which 1974 movie directed by Martin Scorsese won Ellen Burstyn her only Academy Award for Best Actress? In the film, Burstyn plays the titular young widow who travels with her preteen son across the southwestern United States in search of a better life. Ten seconds.
Nah, pass.
Passing to Mick.
Pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Pass.
Passing to Shankha.
Alice doesn't live here anymore.
That's correct.
Oh, bugger. I should have got that.
This is Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Jeez. That should have been.
Jason, although created to fight counterfeiting, the protection duties of the US Secret Service didn't begin until 1901, after the assassination of which president?
McKinley.
Is the right answer. This is William McKinley. Shankha, these are your questions. One of Barack Obama's personal recommendations, Kulanjan, is a 1999 album by Tumani Diabate, along with which American blues musician, born Henry St. Clair Fredericks Jr. The musician's stage name pays tribute to an architectural marvel and, according to him, was inspired from dreams he had about India and Mahatma Gandhi.
Taj Mahal.
Is the right answer. I would even begrudgingly have accepted simply Taj. Shankha, after finishing second in his second season with Chelsea, Ancelotti was fired, but bounced back by becoming the head coach of which French club in 2011? While his club finished second behind Montpellier in his first season, they won the title in 2012-2013, their first after 19 years, and their third out of an overall 12.
Lyon FC.
I'm afraid not. Passing to Mick.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
I'll pass as well.
Passing to Jason.
I'll pass.
Any
To
non-comms?
PSG.
It is PSG.
Ah,
Oh,
PSG.
fuck.
should have said it.
It is simply Paris Saint-Germain. I thought
Like
one of you would be
Alice
brave
doesn't live
enough
here
to take a
anymore.
guess.
I didn't think they'd have gone 19 years without winning.
Yeah. Can look that up.
Sorry,
That's
the
interesting.
Lyon was the first thing that came to my mind. Sorry.
I think it had been a while, and then they got a lot of that sweet, sweet oil money, and now they're on a winning streak.
Yeah.
Aishwarya, these are your questions. One of the most popular filters on Instagram, it poses red to be more saturated in comparison to other colors. This filter is named after the first name of the last director of the Bauhaus School, who was famous for coining the phrase less is more. Which filter? Or who names it?
I can't remember. Walter.
Not Walter. Passing to Mick.
Pass.
Passing to Jason.
Banderow?
We'll get to the point.
Oh,
Do you recall his first name, which is also the name of the filter?
Oh, it's
Mies van der Rohe.
Actually, it's Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. So
yeah,
Oh.
Miss Vander is the whole name.
Whole thing is okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Aishwarya, the first film in Wim Wenders' road movie trilogy, followed by The Wrong Move and Kings of the Road, which 1974 German movie stars Jella Rotlander as the 9-year-old titular character whose mother leaves her in the care of a stranger. The black and white film prominently contains a number of long scenes without any dialogue.
Alice in the City?
Sorry, would you say that again?
Alice in the City?
I'm afraid that's not quite the name of the film, but I'll prompt you.
Alice in the Cities.
Yes, the correct answer. This is Alice in the Cities. I say a number of long scenes without any dialogue sounds like a really fun time. Mick, these are your directs. Eugene Aserinsky's experiments on his 8-year-old son Armand at University of Chicago led to the discovery of what phenomenon in 1953? His father taped electrodes to the boy's head, that's him in the corner, and plugged the leads into a switch box over the bed. From the adjacent room, when he calibrated the machine, telling Armand to look left, right, up, and down, the ink pens jumped in concert with the boy's eyes. The ink pens did the same even when Armand was asleep, which is what led to Eugene's eureka moment and no parenting awards.
We'll try REM Sleep.
You'd be correct too. This is REM Sleep. Did anyone get the reference to That's Me in the Corner from REM the band?
Oh, no.
dear.
Yes, no
Yeah.
one has so far. The
Yeah.
research also established the existence of rapid eye movement, REM, and its correlation with dreaming. Mick, what genre of music was known as the devil's music in the 1920s? Thomas Alva Edison ridiculed it, saying it sounded better played backwards. A Cincinnati home for expectant mothers also won an injunction to prevent the construction of a neighborhood theater where it would be played, convincing a court it was dangerous to fetuses.
We'll try jazz.
You'd be right too again. This is jazz. And so we come to round 5. Halfway through the game, Shankha still leading with 8, but Aishwarya and Mick tied at 6, each just behind him, and Jason on 3. Jason, these are your directs. 2 aircraft wings fittingly appear in the logo of which specialized non-military agency of the UN? A full or abbreviated form is acceptable.
Nah, pass.
Passing to Mick,
Pass.
passing to Aishwarya,
Pass.
passing to Shankha.
Pass.
Non-coms?
The Peace
No.
Corps.
This is the ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason, if classified as a microcontinent, Zealandia would be the world's largest microcontinent. Its area is 6 times the area of which island nation? The next largest microcontinent. This is the world's 4th largest island and the 2nd largest island country.
Madagascar.
Is the right answer. This is Madagascar. Shankha, your questions. Integral to the storyline of Kalki 2898 AD and the mythos as per the Vishnu Purana, which place will be the birthplace of Kalki, the 10th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, where he will establish a new golden age that will end the Kali Yuga? As per Buddha's prophecy, this place is to be ruled by the future Buddha Maitreya. It inspired Shangri-La, a paradise on earth hidden in a Tibetan valley, which features in the 1933 novel Lost Horizon.
Pass.
Passing to Mick,
Pass.
passing to Aishwarya,
Pass.
passing to Jason.
Pass.
Yes, I thought you all might. This is Shambhala.
Recall.
Shankha, which path-breaking 1962 science fiction novel written by American author Madeleine L'Engle also made it to a 2018 film starring Oprah Winfrey and Reese Witherspoon, begins with "It was a dark and stormy night," as a tongue-in-cheek reference to the oft-used cliche?
Wrinkle in Time.
Yes, this is A Wrinkle in Time. And it brings us to Aishwarya's directs. The Grammy-winning album In the Heart of the Moon was a collaboration between Tumani Diabate and which of his compatriots? Interestingly, one of the other musicians featured on the album is Rai Kuda, who had collaborated with this musician over a decade before on another Grammy-winning album, Talking Timbuktu.
Fela Kuti?
Sorry, just say that again, please.
Kuti?
Not him. Passing to Mick.
I'll pass.
Passing to Jason.
Yeah, pass.
Passing to Shankha.
I'll take it. Ali Farka Tore?
Is the right answer.
Sorry.
This is Ali Farka Ture. I was very fortunate to listen to both Ture and Diabati live in Delhi some years ago when they
nice.
came for what was billed as a desert music festival. I encourage everyone to listen to more of the Pora.
I mean, that is an accurate description of Delhi, I suppose.
Aishwarya, the Indian Ocean crust subducted northwards at the Banda Trench from about 12 to 4 million years ago. The Australian continental margin collided with the Asian forearc at about 4 million years ago. Gradually, the Banda Trench was transformed into the fold and thrust mountains of which microcontinent. It gets its name from being at the eastern end of the Lesser Sunda Islands. Ten seconds.
I have got nothing. Pass.
Passing to Mick.
No, pass.
Passing to Jason.
Oh, pass.
Passing to Shankha.
Pass.
With a
Java.
wave of his hand.
That team, where is it?
This is Timor.
Oh,
I would
Timor.
even have accepted Timor-Leste. Timor
Yeah.
Island is divided between the sovereign states of East Timor or Timor-Leste in the eastern part and Indonesia in the western part. And the name is a variant of Timur, which is Malay for east, a reference to its location vis-a-vis the Lesser Sunda Islands, suggesting that East Timor's name is East-East.
Yeah, that's embarrassing for all of us.
Ah,
There is great joy in a collective embarrassment. Mick, these are your questions. Which specialized agency of the UN that leads international efforts to defeat hunger has the Latin motto Fiat Panis, translating to let there be bread? A full or abbreviated form is acceptable.
World Food Program.
I'm afraid not.
Uh,
Passing to Aishwarya.
Pass.
Passing to Jason.
yeah, I would have had that too. Pass.
Passing to
I should have
Shankha.
passed it.
Pass. That's WFPS. Pass.
This is not the World Food Program, but the FAO, the Food and Agriculture
Yeah.
Organization.
Okay.
So the second guess.
Mick, poignantly, the US Secret Service was founded by which president on the same day he was assassinated?
Lincoln.
Yes. This is Lincoln. And so we have round 6. Shankha still leading with 10 points, now by a margin of 3. Mick on 7, Aishwarya on 6, Jason on 4. Fairly tight game. Jason, these are your directs. The 2006 publication Take a Blank, Change Your Life explains the 5 stages of the sleep cycle and the benefits each one provides, how to assess your tiredness and set up a personal sleep profile. According to the book, what 2-word term that aligns with the title of the book was coined by Cornell social psychologist James Maas?
Um,
10 seconds.
nah, circadian rhythm.
I'm afraid not. Pick.
I'll try a power nap.
You'd be right too.
Okay. Mhm.
Nice.
Someone who has escaped from the office. This is a power nap. The book is titled Take a Nap, Change Your Life. Words I live by. Jason, although the French version of this chocolate confectionery traditionally uses ganache and cocoa powder, the Spanish version is prepared with chocolate and rum. These ball-shaped rum-based desserts are called Spanish chocolate blanc.
Yeah.
The blanc, named after its similarity in appearance to a certain type of fungus. Fill in the blank.
Truffle.
Yes. This is a Spanish chocolate truffle. You can get a bad version of this in a lot of places in India. Shankha, your questions. The Islamic calendar traces its start in 622 CE to which epochal event?
The birth of Muhammad.
I'm afraid not. Aishwarya?
The death of Muhammad?
Not that either. Mick?
The Hijra?
Yes, is the right answer.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
This is the Hijra, Hegira, the migration of Muhammad and his followers from Mecca to Medina.
Yeah.
So quite in the middle of his birth and death.
Hmm.
Shankha, the book Too Much by Rachel Verona Coate uses this 1867 painting of a mythological lady by A.F.A. Sandys to convey the modern-day ripple effects of Victorian constraints. Interestingly enough, the lady belongs to an era thousands of years before Victorian society. Who is this lady? A daughter of Zeus and Leda.
I don't know, Paris.
Sorry, would you say that again?
Paris.
Not Paris. Aishwarya?
Helen?
Helen
Yeah,
is the right
Helen.
answer. Helen of Troy. She does look rather cross here, though. I would be too if I'd been blamed for an entire war, or indeed found out how I was born. Aishwarya, the chess grandmaster title was first introduced by FIDE in 1950. Had the title existed at the time, which Polish-born prodigy might have become the youngest grandmaster in history in the early 1920s? His family moved to the US in order for him to make a living through public chess exhibitions, which included playing with Douglas Fairbanks in the 1921 film The Three Musketeers. He went on to win 8 US chess championships, becoming the oldest ever US champion with his 1969 win.
Pass.
Passing to Mick,
Pass.
passing to Jason,
Pass.
passing to Shankha.
Pass. Pass. Pass.
No one for poor Samuel Reshevsky.
Yes.
Okay. Heard the name, that's all.
Mm.
Aishwarya, in his book Inquiry into Plants, Theophrastus, via a ship's captain serving under Alexander the Great, describes a tree with many leaves like the rose, and that this closes at night but opens at sunrise, and by noon is completely unfolded. At the evening again, it closes by degrees and remains shut at night, providing the first recorded scientific account of what biological process. Discoveries of molecular mechanisms controlling it won the 2017 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Ten seconds.
No, I've got nothing. Pass.
Passing to Mick.
Is this a circadian rhythm?
Is
Yes.
the circadian rhythm.
Yes.
I was wondering if it would get to Jason when he said it in the previous question. I would even have accepted
I'm not
biological
gonna lie,
clock.
that's what put it in my head.
Yes, I got it right.
I did think sleep cycle and then didn't.
Yes, I would have accepted biological clock, body clock, sleep cycle, or indeed biological rhythm. Mick, these are your directs. In Kalki 2898 AD, Deepika Padukone's character, Sam 80, aka Sumati, who is pregnant, walks through fire in a desperate bid to escape, leading fans to conclude that it must have been inspired by Khaleesi's walk from the Game of Thrones episode Fire and Blood, where she walks through a fire with her dragon eggs unscathed. Nag Ashwin dismissed this, instead claiming the scene to be inspired from whose unscathed crossing of the Damodar River from Indian mythology?
Thought I was on when that looked like a Game of Thrones question. Okay, what's her name? Saraswati.
I'm afraid not. Jason,
Pass.
passing to Aishwarya.
No, I'm not going to risk it. Pass.
Shankha,
Pass.
he's a big fan of white butter and the ladies.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Krishna. Oh, Krishna.
It is Krishna.
So Damodar.
Okay.
So I would have accepted Vasudev carrying Krishna.
Nice.
The name of the river Damodar means rope around the belly in Sanskrit, and it is in fact a name for Lord Krishna, who was tied around the belly with a rope by his foster mother Yashoda when he was a child. And there are, out of interest to everyone here, about 108 names of Lord Krishna, the popular ones being Govind, Devakinandan, Mohan, Gopal, Shyam, Ghanshyam, Hari, Banke Bihari, and Girdhari.
to be clear, you would have accepted any of the 108 names.
We'll never know now, will we?
Is Saraswati one of the names?
I'm afraid not. She is a woman. Mick, which cartoon character, fondly called the world's most talented beagle, is often depicted beginning his novels with the phrase, "It was a dark and stormy night"?
Snoopy.
Absolutely. In addition to being the world's most talented beagle, he is also best boy. And so we come to round 7, where Mick is for the first time in the lead, but Shankha on 10 points just behind him, Aishwarya on 7, Jason on 5. It's a topsy-turvy world we're living in. Anything can happen. Jason, these are your directs. Tumani Diabate collaborated with which Icelandic singer on one track in her 6th studio album, Volta, released in 2007. While Diabate is a multiple Grammy winner, the singer holds the record among female performers with maximum Grammy nominations, 16 till date, without a win.
Bjork.
Who else?
Yeah. Name another Icelandic singer, big guy.
Or indeed, for no extra points, her last name.
Oh,
I can't remember.
Yeah, no.
Something got here.
It is.
That's,
It is Goodman's
Dottir.
here.
Goodman's got here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason, which Canadian-American singer-songwriter uses "It was a dark and stormy night" as an opening line to her song Crazy Cries of Love on her 1998 album Taming the Tiger? This was in line with her idea of using several cliches in songs from that album, though according to her, the second line, "Everyone was at the wingding," is a brilliant deviation from the cliche.
Oh. Joni Mitchell.
Is the right answer.
Oh, thanks, Jason. I was going to say the wrong thing.
What were you going to say out of interest?
Yeah.
I was thinking Katie Lang for some reason. I was going to get a rush of blood and say it as well.
The most popular answers I've gotten are Celine Dion, followed by Alanis Morissette. So you're already doing better.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't them, but yeah.
This is Roberta Joan or Joni Mitchell. Shankha, your questions. The granite outcrops of which microcontinent in the Central Indian Ocean were the earliest examples cited by Alfred Wegener as evidence for his continental drift theory? Between 84 and 95 million years ago, rifting separated this microcontinent from Madagascar, having been part of Gondwana land originally. It is home to endemic species such as the coco de mer and the jellyfish tree.
Seychelles?
Is the right answer. Or granitic Seychelles, but Seychelles is acceptable. Shankha, when transporting the president in a motorcade, the Secret Service uses a fleet of custom-built armored Cadillac limousines, the newest and largest version of which is known as what, a nickname shared with Jimmy Donaldson's online alias. Donaldson runs the most subscribed channel on YouTube.
Mr. Beast.
Oh.
The Beast.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Mr.
a
Beast is the
poorly
alias.
worded.
Yeah, that's a.
Because
Mr. Beast.
he's Mr. Beast, but it's the Beast. Yeah.
Yes, the car is the beast. He is Mr. Beast. Aishwarya, these are your directs. This is a yeast cake that's saturated in syrup and made with hard liquor, usually of a particular type that's incorporated in its name. The other part of this dish's name comes from a Slavic word for old woman or grandmother. However, when pronounced in India, it sounds like a sage or monk who is either extremely drunk or is advocating the use of alcohol. What alcohol-based dessert is this?
This is a rambaba.
It is indeed. It is a baba or rum or a rum baba or indeed just a baba. Aishwarya, the book Learned by Heart by Emma Donoghue uses a painting called Malabar Beauty on its cover. Who is the painter?
Ravi Verma.
Absolutely. I think that's one of his more iconic paintings. Even I recognize it. This is Raja Ravi Verma. Mick, your directs. Auricularia hamur is a popular ingredient in Chinese cuisine. Which crunchy yet firm fungi that maintains its texture while cooking and can soak in flavors and hold pockets of sauce in its folds gets its name from its resemblance to an anatomical part due to the way it grows on trees.
Finger?
Sorry, would you say that again, please?
A finger mushroom?
Not a finger. Jason?
Pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Wood ear.
Yes. This is the wood ear fungus or cloud ear, tree ear, black fungus, jelly ear. So I'm afraid you had the wrong body part there, Mick.
Not for the first time.
That may be too much information for us. Mick, after Paris, Ancelotti went to Real Madrid for his first stint. But after being fired in 2015, he took a one-year break and then succeeded Pep Guardiola as a coach of which German team in 2016. He spent 1 year at the club and won the title, along with 2 Super Cups.
Okay. Am I just going to divert to the obvious? Yeah, we'll just say Bayern Munich.
And you'd be correct to go with the obvious. This is Bayern Munich. And so we come to round 8, where Shankha and Mick are locked at 12 points each. In first place, Aishwarya just behind them at 10 and Jason just behind her at 7. Still anyone's game. Jason, these are your last 2 directs. Which sacred month in the Islamic calendar derives its name from Arabic for forbidden, as all kinds of fighting are forbidden during this month?
Oh, Haram.
Is the right answer.
Isn't it Muharram?
Oh, I'm so sorry, it is. I read that incorrectly. I'm going to give you an alternate question if I can. I'm afraid I don't have one. I'm very sorry, everyone.
I can send it in a minute. I can send it in a minute, yeah?
Okay.
Sorry?
I can send the question in the chat in a minute. Just
Yes,
give me a
please.
minute.
I would be very grateful.
Okay.
I'll just
We'll
pause it
wait.
for a while. I'll just pause it.
Failed assassination. So your alternate question is, Jason, after the failed assassination attempt on US President Ronald Reagan, when Nancy Reagan arrived in the emergency department, Reagan remarked to her, "Honey, I forgot to duck," borrowing which boxer's line to his wife from the night on which he was beaten by Gene Tunney?
Ooh. Ooh. Geez, there's 1 out of 2. Joe Lewis.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. I think I know what it is.
Passing to Mick.
Who was your other one, Jason? Is it Dempsey?
That is indeed correct.
Excellent. So point goes to Mick, which I think would have been the outcome even if I hadn't gotten this question wrong because he knew Muharram. So all is right with the world.
Horrible.
Jason, his original name was going to be Devil, but eventually the producers went with the name Him to represent this Satan-like character in which TV show?
Oh. Oh, I don't know, Rick and Morty.
I'm afraid not. Passing to Shankha.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yes, this is the Powerpuff Girls, some of the greatest crime fighters of our generation.
Oh.
And so we come to Shankha's last two questions. Another popular filter on Instagram is liked for the vibrant and posy feel that it gives to photos. Per Kevin Systrom, it is named after the type of light German beer that he was drinking while working on the filter. Which filter or which German beer names it?
Pass.
Passing to Jason.
Nah, pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Pass.
Passing to
No.
Mick.
I'm just going to throw out a light German beer. Beck's.
I'm afraid not. Any others?
I was hoping other people would eliminate possibilities for me.
This is Hefe from Hefeweizen,
Oh, I don't even know that one.
or Hefeweizen.
Won't have got it. Anyway.
You'll all be pleased to know that that ends the quad on Instagram filters. Shankha, fittingly, a cogwheel appears in the logo of which specialized agency of the UN? In awarding the Nobel Peace Prize to this organization in 1969, the Nobel Committee referred to the motto enshrined in the foundations of its original building in Geneva, Si vis pacem col justitium. If you desire peace, cultivate justice. A fuller abbreviated form is acceptable.
A landmine. Something like that.
I'm afraid not. Passing to Jason.
I'll pass.
Passing to Aishwarya.
Is it just the ICJ?
It is not. Mick.
Yeah. But speaking of landmines, thanks for diving on that one for the rest of us. Pass.
That's pass.
There's
The
some
ICJ
landman organization which got big.
You're all on the wrong path. The ICJ is in the Netherlands. This has nothing to do with landmines. This
Yes,
is
Red Cross.
International Labor Organization.
Yeah. I was thinking it was going to be a weird one again because
We are called in a wheel.
Yeah.
Deeper organization. Right.
And so we come to Aishwarya's last two directs. Shankha and Mick still deadlocked on 13 points each. In Kalki 2898 AD, lead actor Prabhas plays Bhairav, a tech-savvy bounty hunter in a dystopian world. According to Nag Ashwin, Bhairav's characterization is inspired by which fictional superhero team from the Marvel Universe? The soundtrack for the 2014 film based on the comics. Awesome Mix Volume 1 reached #1 on the Billboard charts, making it the first film soundtrack to ever do that without a single original song.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the right answer. This is Guardians of the Galaxy. I would even have accepted GOTG, as I have never heard it called. Aishwarya, Satan's Triangle is a 1975 movie featuring Kim Novak. The film's climax reveals that the devil assumes different guises and bodies to trap people who have strayed into which geographical location in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean.
The Bermuda Triangle.
Absolutely. This is the Bermuda Triangle, which is also known as the Devil's Triangle. And so we come in the end to Mick's last two questions, also the last two questions of the game. Shankha and Mick on 13 points each, Aishwarya on 12. Mick, Boris Spassky broke which fellow Soviet player's record when he became the first ever teenage grandmaster in 1955? This Armenian, who held the world championship between 1963 and 1969, is regarded as one of the greatest defensive players of all time.
Armenian surname, Kardashian.
I'm afraid not. Though good try. Jason,
Nah.
passing to Shankha.
Tal.
I'm afraid not. Aishwarya,
Pass.
Oh, fuck.
this is Tigran Petrosian.
Oh, Tigran Petrosian.
Petrosian.
And
Do
so
it.
we are still tied at the last question
Whoa.
at 13 points each with
Boys.
Aishwarya or 12. Will we have a winner or will we have a three-way tie? Mick, this is the last question. Which 2014 movie, the last directed by Richard Glatzer before his death from ALS, won Julianne Moore her only Academy Award for Best Actress, an award she dedicated to Glatzer? Based on a novel by Lisa Genova, the film captures the travails of a linguistics professor diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease at the age of 50.
Oh, fuck. Genevieve.
I'm afraid not. Jason?
Nah, just doesn't come to me.
Sorry, was that an answer?
No, pass.
Passing
Just-
to Aishwarya.
It's not coming to me.
Still Alice?
It is still Alice. And so we do have a three-way tie for first place.
Oh. Do we
Shankha
break
has
that or?
13,
It's
Aishwarya
just a
has 13,
horrible
Mick has
set.
13.
Do we
You've
need
left-
a tiebreak or is this just
No, it's
fine?
it.
I
Shouldn't
don't
have
think so.
answered. No, shouldn't have answered the Mikhail Tal. Thanks for reading, Gayatri.
You're very
Cheers,
welcome.
guys. Thank you.